Hello everyone, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video before starting the summary. Yokai, who comes from a wealthy family, moves into an apartment belonging to his family. Early in her life, despite being a rich girl, she was bullied by her classmates. She learned that his teachers protected him because he was rich and that none of them really cared about him. After this traumatic event, Rudikyo grew up and became cold and inconsiderate. Rensho lives in an apartment building where yokai live. Rensho is his neighbor and also Regi's childhood friend. His room is on the 3rd floor. Ridisai's room is on the 4th floor. As he moves towards his room, a cardboard falls out of the wheelbarrow while pulling the wheelbarrow loaded with his belongings in cardboard boxes. He tries to pick it up, but no matter how hard he tries, the box remains in the same place. At that moment, a gust of wind blows through the window and sakura petals follow it and float down the corridor. A white-haired man appears and helps Richio carry the box. Time seems to freeze and the two of them are stuck in each other's eyes for a while after putting the box back. The white-haired man with colored eyes falls to his knees. She looks at Richio and sees tears in his eyes, then addresses him as his master and tells him that according to the rules, anyone moving into this apartment must sign a contract with an SS agent to ensure their safety. SS stands for Secret Service. Due to his cold nature, he was assigned by his family to protect him. Regio denies that any Secret Service agents have been recruited in Sochi, which means that his presence here is unnecessary. After listening to the cruel words of his mistress, he gave him a katana and asked him to get rid of it. Ririki is very confused, but of course he doesn't take anyone's life for no reason. He explains that he is here for his master. If his master doesn't need him, he doesn't need to live close to him. An excellent SS agent, Ririki has the ability to persuade people out of compassion. Eventually Rudikyo is forced to let him become his secret service. He is so eager to be his servant that he pleases his master with a great feast at dinner, while everyone else ignores him. Shoshi will show him the Dakitana in the morning when as Ririkyo opens the door. Ridio has been standing in front of the door to his room since the early hours. He only greets him and says a few bad words. After breakfast, Sochi and Rikyo takes a walk around the apartment block one night while Ridisio is in his room. He is attacked by a thief, pointing his gun at his head. He tells him to be quiet and give him all his money. Surprisingly, 3D Dichia does not react. He is a little disappointed when the thief turns out to be an ordinary person. His eyes light up, and when the thief sees them he is terrified and unconsciously takes a step backwards. He is so scared that Ririkyo shoots. Shoshi catches the bullet with his hand just in time, then turns his head to look at the thief and uses his magic to transform into a fox with a tail. Others in the apartment block gather here to help. A dead end for the thief. The thief takes Karuta hostage, but after only a second he drops his clothes and disappears. The thief gets scared and runs away. He goes upstairs and encounters a giant skeleton and covers it with purple aura. He left his hand wounded, grabbed Ririkyo's leg, gave him a kiss and pleaded with him, saying that he did not care about Ririkyo's rich family, that he had come to protect him and repay a debt from long ago. He allows Sochi to stay with him. It was the first time anyone had ever spoken of such sentimental thoughts, so he became Sokai's special agent, and from that day on he was always with him as Sokai's special SS agent. Rikyo let him follow her. Even when she wants to go to the toilet, he continues to follow her. Social only takes a few minutes to say goodbye, no different from a dog that follows its owner all day. One day Rairo takes Sochi to the shopping center. On the way, Ririkyo thinks about what Shoshi said earlier. Peruxio can't remember anything. The problem is Richo wants to be nice to Thea connection when he was younger, how she for what he's done for her, but if she cared about him too much he might misunderstand her. When they come back to the department, everyone surprises them with a small party to welcome Richo to the Ayakashi Hall after asking for religious permission. So, Ryukairo's parents aren't really human, but the blood circulating in their bodies is part of the yokai, and Ryagio is one of them. As the eldest half-yoka's daughter with half-yokai blood, she was given the best quality of life ever since she was little. She didn't have much time to be with the other children. She returned to the present after Didiki signed the contract, thus officially becoming Ridiculio's secret agent. Io was with Sochi one evening when she felt something strange in her heart. Rudikyo met a young boy who seemed like a nice guy. Although they have just met each other, they soon get into a small fight. They stare at each other for about a minute until their eyes burn. The boy introduces himself as the boarder. He has just moved here and lives on the first floor. He has the ability to turn into a raccoon dog, but the Secret Service comes and stops him from doing bad things to the girl, and his communication is reset after a short time. His name is Natsume, and his boarder is a Secret Service agent. He then spends 2 minutes of his life telling Ridicchio about his first life and his previous life, and says that he also knows Rudikio's past. Bandri and Natsume have health problems, and they came here to meet Sochi, so Aikyo took them to Shoshi's place. It turned out that the three of them had been good friends for a long time, but Battery was still angry thinking about the times when he was a raccoon dog, so he said that the guy always bullied him and called him cute. That word really hurt his ego, and today he wanted revenge on Sochi and challenged Sochi in a game called Daiakishi. The one who collects the most signatures will win the game, but it doesn't take him 2 seconds to admit that he has lost before the game has even started, because he doesn't want to waste a day with his master on such a childish game. The Secret Service asks Sochi to join the game. Riccio must not let anyone touch his tights. There is no other choice. Sochio really has to accept his idea. She is so excited that he says he can sign 100, 1,000 or even 1,000,000 times. Boundary goes to ask for Karuta's autograph. In fact, the game is an excuse for Boundary to meet Karuta. Boundary brings his favorite red bean cake to Canada. It turns out that it is for the girl he loves. Boundary left the apartment for his education, and now he has finished his work and has returned. Natsume later explains that his ability is to see through things, which means that today he can see other people's underwear. He prepares breakfast for Shoshi. Ridicchio sees that Sochi is the first person to take a serious interest in him and thinks of ways to thank him every day. He is in the same class with Religio and Karuta after school. When he really calms down, he wants to go home. Renzo realizes that an unknown number keeps sending him annoying messages, but he doesn't think about it because he thinks about how to apologize to Sochi. Renzo suggests writing a letter to Shoshi. Thanks to Register's advice, Rudicchio has an idea.